Today I was just thinking that Baba is telling us the method to break body consciousness. But why is it important to break body consciousness? Because the consciousness is the problem. Yes? So you see that basically the whole world is old and everything is in a degraded state. But that is not my problem. Yes, is the whole world my problem? I don't think about the whole world all the time. But what becomes my problem? That which I associate my sense of I and mine with. So when I start associating my sense of self or my sense of identity with something, then it starts becoming my problem. Then it starts becoming my limitation. Now you see, the body is what it is. But why does it become a problem for me? Because I think I am this body, and this body is very important, and this body can limit me, and this body defines me. That is when the body becomes a problem. And you see that even brain is a part of the body. Sometimes the brain is not functioning well. When we say it's a mental illness, we are basically talking about an illness of the brain. So there is problem in the brain, there is problem in the body, or there is problem in some aspect of the body. So when we say body consciousness, it is not just about the body or the brain, but it is also about that which you do through the body, that which you attain through the body. So all of that is body consciousness. And you see that it is imperfect. Of course, it is not in its best state. But then nothing is in its best state right now, is it not? The whole world is in a state of depletion, degradation, and everything is in a degraded state right now, and it's okay. We understand it is Kali Yuga, and it is supposed to be like that. See, who doesn't know that diseases are a truth in Kali Yuga? Yes? Are you disturbed by the fact that illnesses, physical and mental, are a truth in Kali Yuga? Do you think about that thing that, it's so sad that illnesses are a part of life in Kali Yuga? So when you sit and think about Kali Yuga and the state of the bodies and the state of affairs and the state of nature in Kali Yuga, you know that it is less than perfect, almost imperfect. And that is not your problem. You are okay with it. But when does it become your problem? When that illness is in that body which you call mine. So you see, illness is in many bodies right now. But when it is in that body which I call mine, or in that brain which I call mine, then it starts becoming a problem for me. So the problem is not the state of affairs. The problem is my sense of I and mine. And this is why Baba says, and have you seen that, there are many other souls around us, and they are also going through something or the other, and there is something in their body or something in the brain or something with the job or the finance or the relationship which they are going through. And when you look at them with hope and faith, and you are able to give them, you are able to be compassionate, fill them with hope, fill them with power. Are you not able to do that? Somebody comes and tells you, I have this illness in the body, and you counsel them and you give them hope and strength, and you recharge them, you fill them with enthusiasm. But why can't you do the same thing with that body which you call mine? Because of this body consciousness, because the soul, I the soul, have this sense of self and identity with the body and the labels and the titles and the haves and the the work that I do with the body. So I am attached to all of that. That's why it's become a problem. And you see, this body, although not perfect, although there are a lot of limitations, but this body is enough for me to earn my Sangam Yogi, Punya ka khata. And what else do I have to do with this body? Do I have to ensure that when I leave the body is fit and fine? No. So this body is just an instrument, and you have to use it until you leave it. And the soul has to just use the body in such a manner that you are able to follow Shrimat and earn the spiritual income of 21 births while you are in this body. That's all. That's all the problem that we have. And for that, if you break body consciousness, then even if the body is not perfect, even if what you have done or attained through the body is not perfect, it's okay. You can still work with the body, the brain, and then you can just do your Sangam Yogi task, leave the body and go into a new world where the 5 elements of nature and the body, the relationships, and everything will be perfect. So Baba says that you need to break body consciousness, and I will tell you the experience. Whatever I'm talking in this class is from an experience I've had very closely. So there is this brother, and he has a lot of physical ailments, but he just laughs about it. He's a BK, and he would just say, you see, my body is tattered and battered, but good enough for me to earn my Sangam Yogi income, and that's good enough. I just tell my body to not give up on me until I have earned my 21 births of income. And when I listen to that brother, it is so fascinating, because you also have regard for that brother, and it's not like you feel pity, or he's attracting your pity, or he's attracting your this aha bechara. So that he's not attracting, and he's attracting good wishes from your heart also. And I have seen that he just works with his body. So his body is maybe 70% fine or 60% fine, but he is doing a good job with his body. So he gives it the rest it needs. He just takes care that he gives it enough exercise or enough something for it to just go on. And he's doing his Purusharth. He makes sure he can sit in Amrit Vela. He makes sure that he can do the seva, whatever is required with that body. And even if sometimes, he is not able to do seva very actively with the body, he knows that he has a brain and he can use that for seva. Or he has something else which he can use for seva. So Baba says that when you are not in body consciousness, then you're free. Because when you are in any consciousness, so the soul is in the consciousness of something that is Kali Yugi, then the soul is in bandhan. So then the soul is not free, and anything in Kali Yuga is not perfect. It is not in its best state. And when you are in the consciousness of that, that becomes a big limitation for you. And this is why Baba says you have to break body consciousness. And how do you break it? So Baba has given very good method today. So Baba says keep practicing while walking, moving, that I am just temporarily in this body. And just like Baba has taken the body of Brahma Baba to establish heaven, I have also taken this body. I have also, just entered this body to do my Sangam Yogi Purusharth and create heaven, and then I'll leave the body. So do you think that Shiv Baba ever got disturbed by the fact that Brahma Baba coughed? No, he never got disturbed. Why? Because he knew that's not my body. So whatever is in that body is not my problem. It's the problem of the owner. So Baba says ownership is the problem. So when you also think that this is just a temporary costume, have you seen the beauty of something that is temporary? So there is this one sister, and she told me that, she told me that I have a house which is much better than most of the hotels we check in when we go outside. So, she's made that house into a big palace, and it's a beautiful house. And then she says that, when I go somewhere, I don't get what I really need. So most of the times I have to adjust in a new place. But it's temporary, so you can adjust. So she was also talking about the power of adjustment in her own way. So this is what Baba is talking about. You see, when you understand that this body is just temporary and this is not yours, you have got nothing to do with it, it doesn't define you, it can't limit you, it's just a temporary costume. Just like Shiv Baba has taken a costume, you have also taken a costume, and now you are here to do your Sangam Yugi task of helping Baba in creating heaven, and then you will go to your actual body, the body you deserve. So the Satyugi body, which is, healthy, beautiful, in every which way. It's Baba says there's natural beauty there. There's permanent state of health there. So Baba says just dissociate your consciousness with this body. And then Baba says talk very sweetly with Baba early in the morning in Amrit Vela. And when you wake up at Amrit Vela and when you talk very sweetly to Baba in Amrit Vela, then you, the soul, are pulled upwards in your consciousness. So because Baba is in the highest consciousness, so when you are talking to Baba in Amrit Vela, then your consciousness is also naturally lifted from everything that is down here. And that's also a very beautiful method of lifting your consciousness from this old world, this old body. So Baba says these are the two methods to break body consciousness. Okay. Now, today I was also thinking, that Baba says that, this birth, this Sangam Yugi birth is godly birth, and this is the most fortunate time of the whole cycle, and we are God's children right now. This is our Ishwariya Janam, and we are going to, we have Baba's inheritance as our birthright. And when you keep all these things in your heart, in your awareness, then you have a lot of intoxication of happiness. And I was just thinking, what is the biggest prapti or attainment in Sangam Yuga? And today I felt like the Shrimat that we have is a very big prapti in Sangam Yuga. The Shrimat that we have is, and there are some things which came into my mind which I would like to share. So you see that right now we have access to Shrimat. Now what is Shrimat? Shrimat is the truth, because the truth about what is what, who is who, and the truth is very different from beliefs. So one is directions, which we usually, when we think about Shrimat, we think that Shrimat is the directions that Baba gives us. But even before those directions, Shrimat is the truth that Baba tells us. The truth about our nature, the truth about our purpose, the truth about the purpose of everything, the truth about relationships, the truth about, the spiritual laws. So all of these things Baba tells us. And when you hold that truth in your heart, then, in your consciousness, then your attitude, vision, action, everything starts to shift. And you begin to shift from a vicious papatma to a virtuous punyatma. And let's take one example. So, yesterday there was this brother, and he told me that I have tried implementing Brahma Kumari's teachings. So he came for the first time, and he told me that I have tried implementing the teachings of Brahma Kumaris, and I have tried to change my nature, but I have failed. So I said, what have you tried? So he said, you people always say that I'm a peaceful soul, I'm a loveful soul, I'm a happy soul. So I have tried doing that, and every day I get up in the morning, I tell myself I'm a peaceful soul, I'm a loveful soul, and then, I get angry in the day. So he said, of course, it has made some difference, but then I get angry anyway. So I told him, but do you think that the knowledge is only about I'm a peaceful soul, I'm a loveful soul? Then are we foolish that we are studying for so long? So we are studying every day, and Baba is giving us a Murli every day. And why didn't you read the Murli every day, or why didn't you get yourself connected, to a center and start your study? So he said that, no, I thought I know everything. So I said, that's the problem. So he said, what more do I need to know? So I said, let's take this problem that you're facing. So in the morning, you are practicing that I am a peaceful soul, I am a loveful soul, and it is serving you well for some time, is it not? So you're feeling peaceful, you're feeling loveful, yes. And then what happens? Somebody comes and does something which you think is not the right thing to do, whether it is words, whether it is action, And then you have a belief system inside you which tells you that whenever somebody is doing something wrong, then getting angry is natural, normal, and okay. Yes, so he said, of course, if somebody is doing something wrong, then it is, you have to get angry. So I said, yes, that's where the problem lies. Because our behavior is deeply rooted in belief systems. And those belief systems are responsible for triggering our vicious sanskars all the time. Now you see that there are two things inside the soul. There are sanskars and there is manushya mat. Yes, Ravan mat. So there are the sanskars of Ravan, and then there is the mat of Ravan. Mat means the directions and the jhoot, the untruth that has settled in the soul in the form of, belief systems which have been given by Ravan. And if you don't work on those belief systems, then what happens is, even if you don't want your vicious sanskars to get active, they will get active because those underlying belief systems are doing the damage. And this is why Baba gives Shrimat, which is, he wants us to look at everything, to see everything, perceive everything in the right angle. So, the angle that he gives, the truth that he tells is that, nobody is doing anything wrong. Everybody is doing what they are destined to do, they are pre-recorded to do, and it's a drama, and everybody has to play a different role for this drama to be interesting. So when you start labeling something as right and wrong, that's when the problem rises. And Baba has told us that every scene is accurate. There is nothing right or wrong about the scene, about the behavior. And to each his own, every soul is different. They are not less than or greater than, they are playing their own role. And until that sits deeply in your heart, how can you deal with anger which comes up because you think that someone is wrong or something is wrong? So this is why Baba in the Murli every day is reminding us that, we have been through a cycle. And in this cycle, there are two yugas in which, there is no vice. And then from the copper age, vices set in, and every soul starts behaving viciously, and that's how it is supposed to be. And if your vice is getting triggered by their vice, then you have to deal with your vice. So, somebody is getting angry, somebody is being lazy, somebody is being impunctual. So that is a vice that is the truth of Kali Yuga, because in Kali Yuga, every soul is weak. But you also have your own weaknesses which are stemming from the expectation that no soul is allowed to be weak. So every soul is supposed to be perfect. That expectation inside you is creating the problem. And you have to deal with that expectation and understand the cycle that there has been a passage of time and every soul has depleted and nobody is in their perfect state, and it is how it is supposed to be. That's why Baba says that keep rotating the discus of self-realization, Keep churning the cycle of 84 births in your awareness. Why? Because when you keep doing that, then you are always aware of the time you are in and how things are supposed to be at that time. And in this time, if things are supposed to be like this and they are like that, then why are we complaining? So it is Kali Yuga and everybody is behaving in a Kali Yugi way, which is weak, inappropriate, imperfect, and that's okay. And this is what you will get in Kali Yuga. Otherwise, go start hunting for somebody who's perfect and spend your life in that. Yes, people are hunting for perfect souls now. And did you find anybody? So there is nobody who is perfect, and even if they are, they will not be perfect according to you, because you are different from them. So this is why every day Baba is revising these things with us, because this is Shrimat. This is Baba's, this is the truth that Baba is telling us about ourselves, about everybody, and about. So let's take another belief system. Another belief system is that if somebody gets angry, then you have to get angry. Gussa to aayega hi. Or if somebody is behaving improperly, then gussa to aayega hi. Yes, or if somebody is being lazy, then you will also not feel like working. So these are also belief systems which are deeply seated inside us. But what is the truth? Baba tells us, you are a peaceful, loveful, pure, happy, blissful soul, and you have the power to stay pure, peaceful, loveful, happy, blissful, powerful in any setting, come what may. You have the capacity to be you in any circumstance around you. And that capacity we were not aware of. We always thought, people say that, man is a product of his circumstances, or you are colored by the environment you are in. So Baba says, no, it is absolutely possible and in your power to be yourself, be in your purity, peace, love, even purity, in the impurest of environments, you can stay absolutely pure without even a fleeting thought of impurity. So Baba says that's your capacity, and if you know who you are, then the other things around you will not be able to affect you. So these are the things this is what Shrimat is. Shrimat is Baba is telling us the truth about what is the right attitude to hold and who am I really, and what is the truth about what's going on. So basically, Baba answers 4 questions for us. Who am I? Who do I really belong to? Yes, who is mine? And what's my purpose? And what's going on? And when we recalibrate, our internal attitudes in line with Baba's Shrimat, then it's very easy for us to stay in our divine virtues and perform our actions every day. Yes, and then, this consciousness of I and mine. So nobody is yours. Even this body is not yours. So whatever you think is I and mine is not yours. So why do you get disappointed when they don't behave according to you? This is what Baba is saying. And then you see this thing about relationships also. So our relationships, so in the world we are told that relationships are there for emotional fulfillment. Yes, somebody will give you love and happiness and peace in a relationship. But the purpose of relationships is not that. The purpose of relationship is having a convenient environment to get work done together. Yes, in the alaukic family also, we are coming together. We are not, being on our own. Why? Because this huge task of changing, transforming the world has to be done. And that task can be done by cooperation, right? But this is not about emotion, this is about cooperation. So, attachment, so Ravan Mat tells you that souls are liable to supply you with love and peace and happiness and joy and bliss and whatnot. But that is not what they are capable of giving you. So Baba says it is physical cooperation for which you stay together. Here also, cooperation of the body, mind and wealth. That's what Baba says, that you pull in everything together, and when you do it as a group, then there are economies of scale. And you have specialization, and everybody's different, so everybody's specialities are different. And when you do anything in a group, then work gets done very easily. That's why you stay in a group. So even in a family, you see, if one person has to earn and cook and take care and do everything, that becomes very difficult. So you have division of labor, and then you have specialities that everybody brings in, and then you work as a group. And when you take care of your own emotions, because you have understood that relationships are not for emotional fulfillment, and who takes care of your emotions? So you have to take support from Baba to be in a peaceful, loveful, happy, blissful state. And when you have done your inner work connected with Baba for that, then you come together as a family, as a workforce, in an office, or you come together in the alaukic family, you get work done very easily. That's how it's supposed to be. Every soul is supposed to source their power from Baba, and then with each other you are supposed to come together in a powerful state and get work done. But we don't understand that, and that is why there is so much of expectation and disappointment in relationships, because we are waiting for the other person to do that work for me, which I had to do for myself by, remembering Baba. And you are in a peaceless, in an unhappy state, and you're begging for peace and love and happiness to the other person, and the other person doesn't have it. They can't give it to you. And that's why relationships are getting bitter and bitter. But if you took that responsibility for yourself, if you just took out time for yourself and you did that work for yourself by remembering Baba and taking the power from Baba, then all our relationships would be very beautiful and productive. And I think that, our relationships are not beautiful is one problem, but they are very unproductive. And you see, one soul has to be busy in telling the other soul all day, all night that I love you and I care for you, which is such a waste of the human soul energy. Yes, so this is what we are doing all day, We are trying to fill that hole of emptiness of emotions inside the other soul, which cannot be filled in this manner, and that is why we are not able to focus on that which we can focus on. If we just did this work for ourselves. So Baba says these are the belief systems, and this is why when we get Shrimat, we understand, what is what, who is who, what's going on, what is the belief system that Ravan has just instilled inside me, because of which, these vicious sanskars are getting activated all the time. And when we listen to the Murli every day, slowly, gradually, we start working on the roots, which is the belief systems. And Baba is the seed giving you Shrimat. Shrimat is the truth about everything. Truth versus belief is the problem. Yes, so it's always the truth versus belief. So Baba's Shrimat is the truth about things, the truth about affairs, the truth about what's going on, the truth about how it's supposed to be. And when we start churning on it, imbibing it, then our attitude is set in the right angle. And then when our attitude is set in the right angle, then we don't have these bizarre expectations and disappointments in life. So, your attitude about yourself, your attitude towards other souls, your attitude towards work, relationships, your attitude towards Baba, everything is set right when you start churning on Shrimat, when you start churning on what Baba is telling you in the Murli. But the most important thing in all of this is listening to the Murli. So, you have to listen to what Baba is trying to tell you in the Murli, because this art of listening is the most difficult. We only listen what we are trained to listen. So, when we are listening to the Murli, also, most of the times we miss out on what Baba is saying or what Baba is trying to make us think. And this is why it's very important that when we listen to the Murli, we actually listen to the Murli, not allow our manmat to interfere with our imbibing of Shrimat. Okay, Om Shanti.